Welcome back to the channel. It's Dr. Angela Cudger with Legacy Holistic Health Institute, the founder here, where you can look at us as the Harvard of Holistic Health Education. Thank you so much if you're a returning subscriber. All of your likes, your shares, and your support on this channel mean the absolute world to me. If you're new to the channel and you're just now joining us, I hope this video finds you well. I hope you're doing amazing in everything that you're doing and that you would consider subscribing, being part of our conscious community. Be sure to check the description and the comments below to see how you could be part of our email list and get even more of this amazing insight in your inbox on a regular basis. This video is going to be talking about a subject that is absolutely near and dear to my heart: numerology, the study of numbers, and how we can look at numbers. Now, I could talk about numerology from so many different vantage points, but the purposes of this video is just to get an understanding of what numbers mean when you encounter them or when you actually see them. So we're going to talk a little bit about why you're seeing numbers if you're seeing numbers. Now, really quickly, this channel is dedicated to the health, wellness, and spiritual awakening and spiritual health of those women over 40 years old. Not a woman, not over 40, no sweat. This information can be applied to anyone, but those are the people that we kind of specialize in. You can definitely stay. You could definitely subscribe. You could definitely get on our email list. And please join our conscious community. All right, let's talk a little bit about why you're seeing numbers. The first thing we want to understand is what numerology is. So numerology is an esoteric study of numbers and the messages, the divine messages that come with them. This flows in alignment with metaphysics because metaphysical principles have to do with how and what we believe. And so when we're looking at the esoteric study of numbers, we are looking at how we get messages from other beings, angels, spirit guides to assist us in this life. Now, they don't have a way to touch things, move things, write us a message, send us a message. And so one of the ways that spiritual beings communicate with us is through numbers. Going through this lifetime, they know that when we incarnated here on earth in this lifetime, a veil comes down over our consciousness, right? And it comes down over us to help us kind of forget where we came from and to really evolve over our lifetime, to reconnect with the God that's in us and to look to a higher source for guidance, as well as to look to our angels and people who we've incarnated with, family, friends, anybody that has a soul tie. Look to these individuals for support. However, it's very common for all of us throughout this lifetime to still need significant support regarding the different things along our path in this lifetime. Numbers come so that we can have reassurance that we're on the right path, or if we need to shift a pending or different decision that we need to make. So numbers show up when transformation is happening. So when you see 1-1, you see numbers in sequence like 1, 2, 3, 4. When you see numbers in sequence like 3, 2, 1, even the shape or even the way of these sequences is how the divine and these esoteric beings are actually communicating. And so that's the first thing to remember. When you see numbers, you can see them on billboard signs, you can see them on clocks, you can see them on the microwave, you can look up and see them. I look up and I see them a lot when I'm working out at the gym, like a countdown timer or the timer on the machine that I'm working out on. I see them all kinds of places. I see them on people's clothing. I see them on the back of cars. I see them on license plates are a big one. The radio, the odometer on the car. You can see these messages anywhere where numbers will show up or where numbers could possibly be. You have to open yourself up, and I'm going to give you some practical application at the end of this video on what to do when you actually start to see these numbers. So let's dive into what these different numbers mean. The first numbers we're going to look at are those within the 000 series and the 111 series. And that could be double zeros, triple zeros, double ones, triple ones, quadruple ones, anything that would be included in this series. And you want to look at repeating numbers. So a single one digit doesn't count, or a single zero digit doesn't count unless you see these digits in sequential order: 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 0. These are things that you might see in sequential order. But when we're looking just at the 0000 and the 1111, we're looking at 0 as it represents infinite, and then 1 represents potential. These are considered your root numbers, and they symbolize new beginnings as well as the potential for something to happen or to be created. They represent the infinite abundance or infinite knowledge or infinite potential that could be coming as a part of what you're looking to create or what you're looking to do. 00 is going to signify oneness, whereas 111 might represent a new beginning, and things like 1001 are a sign of divine protection. And so you're going to see these different numbers start to mean different things, and I want you to start to pay attention to them. So when you see 0000 or 1111, a lot of times 1111 1111 is looked at as like a gateway. So the two ones on this side and the two ones on this side, it creates a path in between them. And so a lot of times you'll see people talk about gateways or moving forward with divine potential and moving into a different level or higher or uh greater potential, or moving to a greater vibration, right? Or shifting vibrations or shifting in life. You'll see them do this around things like the 1111 portal or the 111 portal that happens on January 11th or 11/1, right? So you'll see these things start to happen, or you'll see people start to refer to these things. I need to go to a higher level. I need to expand. I need to change my life. And it's usually around the time they're getting this support. And when a person starts to get ready to shift in this way, then they will start seeing a lot of these numbers start to show up. Okay. Let's move to the second set of numbers: 1111 and 3333. Now, these numbers, and 1111 is included in these because these numbers carry the energy of being related to personal growth and self-expression. 333, I know it's in and of itself indicates a strong alignment with the universe and speaking our truth. And so when we see these numbers, it is God's way of saying, or angels' ways of saying, we are with you, we support you, what you're saying is correct, what you're doing is fine, right? If you see numbers that count down 321, that means you're going in the wrong direction. Shift either what you're thinking about, shift what you're saying, restate what you just said. So you're always getting guidance here when it comes to these numbers. And so the 222 represents balance and harmony as well. And so we want to make sure that every time I see 222 a lot, like at least 20 times a day. I'm not even exaggerating. I see 222 or 2222 or 5 twos, right? And it's like, if you're going back and forth with something like in your head, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to these numbers, because these numbers are saying, yes, you're going the right direction. Yes, you have harmony and balance. Yes, do this thing to bring harmony and balance. And you always want to pay attention to what you're thinking about right before you see the number, okay? Because it's going to give you an indication of the next thing that you're supposed to do. So let's move on to the next group of numbers: 4444, 5555, and 6666. And so a lot of times we've been taught, especially if you grew up traditional Christian, you're taught that multiple sixes has a different connotation, but that's not what it means. It's nowhere near what it means. It means something very, 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 very positive. It brings balance to our physical and spiritual lives, and it helps put us on the right track. That's what multiple sixes is all about. It's about balancing between the physical and the spiritual, right? And so when we look at 4444, and 4444 through 6666, these focus on stability and balance. So anytime you see these numbers, it is calling you to physically look at how you are stable. Where is your security? Are you asking God for more security in something? Are you needing to shift some things so that you're more balanced in how you feel and how you show up? These 4444 in and of itself is a sign of protection and guidance, that in your striving to be more balanced and harmonious, you're getting the guidance that you need, that your angels are there with you. 4444 is their way of saying, we got you. Keep doing the work, right? Carry water, right? Till the ground. We got you. We've got your back. That's their way of saying, we're here to protect you. We're here to bring harmony. We're here to bring stability. We're here to bring security. We got you. Even if you don't see us, we've got it. We've got you. Okay. And so 555 signifies massive, sweeping, rapid change and transformation. Don't ever forget, when you see 55 or 555 or 5555 or multiple fives, and the more of these numbers that you see together, the stronger the message that's trying to come through. So around portal times, around the new moon and the full moon, you're going to see, if you're paying attention, you'll see a lot of fives, you'll see 1111, and you'll see a lot of eights. And so these all have to do with rapid transformation. Around the time of the eclipses, rapid transformation and rapid cutoffs are happening. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to these as well, because that's what these numbers, that's what they signify. So let's talk a little bit about when we see the sevens and when we see the eights. And these are some of my favorites, because these all are rooted in spiritual growth and abundance. Sevens bring money. Eights say you have infinite attachment to inexhaustible rich sources of money and abundance, right? And it signifies us waking up at a deeper spiritual level and a deeper insight and awakening to who we are and why we're here. That's why we see these numbers in particular. 888 in and of itself is associated with material abundance, houses, cars, prosperity, full bank accounts, multiple businesses, a raise on your job, right? A new opportunity that you weren't looking for is coming your way. So whatever you're thinking about and whatever you're doing, get on par with the universe at that time and either say, thank you, I'm ready, I'm open and ready to receive. Or if you're thinking shift, these numbers come to say, change your talk right now. Change your mind right now. Change it in a blink of an eye. And I'm going to tell you what I do at the end of this video to make sure that when I see these numbers, what I do immediately, I used to look these up, but now that they come so frequently and so rapidly all day, every day, sometimes I'm surrounded by multiple numbers at the same time, right? 1111 over here, 5 8s over there, 4 3s over there, 10 5s. I might see like on a billboard that's waiting to be printed. It's insane. And so I see these numbers all the time. Serial numbers have them all the time. So when you see the sevens and the eights, you know you're talking about abundance. You know you're talking about a deeper spiritual awakening that might be able to lead to significant, inexhaustible abundance. And so you want to make sure, as you're on par, you're actually asking for the guidance on, how do I deal with a significant amount of money? How do I deal with the ability to be able to hold or have accounts with multiple millions in them? You're not going to just throw those into some regular checking account, right? A lot of times people say that they want things or they dream about things, and they're not thinking about, where do I need to go? What do I need to do? What pathways do I need to create for this type of financial abundance, so that when it comes, I'm well educated and I understand the pathway of what to do with it. So a lot of times it's not that the universe doesn't want to pour people out significant financial abundance. It's when they get it, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to work it. They don't know what account it goes in. They don't know how to protect it. They don't know how to multiply it. They don't even know how to give some of it away. And so we have to be clued into these things and know that when these messages come, it's letting us know that we're on the right track, but there's still work on our side. The angels can't do the physical work for us. We have to be willing to do that work. We still have to be willing to walk or take ourselves to go see that material thing we want to manifest. So we have to be willing to stop and meditate and pray to say, thank you for the signal that I need more balance. Thank you for the signal that I'm on the right track. And so we have to be willing to do these things as human beings, or, kind of on our own. The angels can only do so much. They can get the message out to us, but then it's up to us to take it from there, believe it, research it, and all of these different things. Now, real quick, before I give you some practical application, I know this video has gone a little bit long, but I want to say a quick word on the 999s, the 9999s through the 555s. And so the thing that I want to say about this is, when it comes to these kinds of numbers, when you see the 9 to 5s, these numbers all represent completion and transformation. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, completion and transformation. And I'll do another video, if you guys want me to, on numerology based on life path, numerology based on your career path, numerology, the color of your life path and what that means, and how each year you're having a different year. And so you go through 1 through 9. From the time you're born, you're cycling through 1 through 9, and you're having a specific year, right? So, like, for example, I'm a life path 9, which is all about completion and transformation. If I were to do another lifetime, I would end up being an ascended master. I'd end up being like my birthday or something would end up totaling up to 11 or 22 or 33, some kind of double number, right? Because I've already gone through 1 through 9 at this point. I'm a life path 9, and I'm having a 7 year. So this in 2023, I'm having a 7 year. So this allows me to be able to have this deeper spiritual insight this year. And I'm connecting my gifts to my life path. The other part to think about this, and I'm definitely going to do a video about this because people miss this, is you might be having a certain kind of year, and you might be having a 7 year where you're going through all of this awakening, and you just kind of want to get to yourself and do your thing. And you might be dating or married to someone who's going through a 5 year, or who's going through an 8 year. 5 years, massive, rapid change. They want to be all over the place. Or they're having an 8 year where it's all about family and community, and they want to have babies. And it's not that you're incompatible, it's also about understanding holistically all of who a person is, so that we understand what their path is, right? It's the same for like a life path 9. I typically don't truly, or don't always connect deeply with people who are life path 4 and under. Those individuals are not necessarily rooted in transformation and massive change. And the soul is usually, in many cases, a little bit younger. So it has had multiple hundreds of lifetimes, but nowhere near the number that anyone who's 555 and up have had. But that's a whole nother video. And so it's about understand, like, my mom was a baby soul. Like, she was she was a 2, right? And it doesn't mean that she knew less, but all of her life everybody pampered or took care of her. You know what I'm saying? Everybody did things for her, right? And people were always she was just very, very passive, right? And so all of us rallied around. She had all of her 11 children are all old souls. We are numbers 8 and 9, right? Or ascended masters. There are multiple of my siblings that were ascended masters. And so it's about knowing all of a person before you say, now I get that person, right? And most people don't even know enough about themselves to even be clued into these kinds of things. So they don't even know why they're changing. They don't even know why they feel different from year to year. But it's important that we know these things, so that I understand that next year is going to be an 8 year for me. It's going to be open. It's going to be ready. Whereas this year I've been in hermit mode. I've been to myself, and anything that wanted to be out and about and doing all this extra stuff, I slowly moved away from it. I slowly put some boundaries in place and distanced myself. And so it's about knowing that That person is going through their year, they're going through their stuff, and and you are too. And that it's about harmoniously coming together where and seeing where you guys can affect change for one another and be truly holistically a part of one another's lives. It's very, 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 very powerful, because you will have people divorced, you will have people hold grudges, you will have people drop friendships, not realizing that next year is a different year for that person, or next year is a different year for you. And so it's important that we look at all of these different things, before we bring people in. So 9, 6, 7, 8, 5, these are all numbers of completion and transformation. 9 indicates the end of a cycle. So I'm a 9 life path. It's the end. It's the end. It's the end. And I mean, I'm a true 9. So like my life path is a 9. My birthday is a 9. My license plate added up to a 9 at the time. My driver's license numbers added up to a 9. And my weight, my physical weight added up to a 9 at that time. And that was when I first got introduced to numerology. I just happened to look at it one day and I was like, there's no way that this is a coincidence. There's no way it's a coincidence. And so that's what got me into numerology and looking at these things like, oh my God, what an awakening I'm having. And that was during a 7-year. Like that was during in my 20s when I was on having a 7-year. And so it's just something to remember, that these things remind us to embrace change and transformation. So now let's talk a little bit about some practical application when it comes to seeing these numbers. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you and you could see double numbers like right now, and this is why I said this. Right now I see 1515, right? It's 3:15 where I am. My computer's in military time, and so you're going to see these things, right? All the time, right? So if you see those numbers, the first thing you want to do is, if you're able to, you can Google on your phone, tablet, computer, you can say 1515 angel number, and it'll tell you, oh, it's got the combined energy of 1 and 5, where there's transformation and change, but there is also abundance and opportunities coming, right? So it will allow you to be able to understand these numbers. So if you can look it up, look it up. If you can't, the next thing you want to do is have a numbers journal, so that you're checking what messages are trying to come through. The next thing you want to do is decide, what was it you were thinking about when these numbers came through? If you woke up from a dream, what was the dream about and you saw these numbers? If you happen to be in your home, what are you thinking when you see these numbers? Because sometimes these numbers are available to tell us that we need to switch our thought processes immediately, because whatever we're thinking about at that solitary second is manifesting in lightning speed. Right. And so that's one of the first things we actually should do, is say, what am I thinking about? What are the messages that are trying to come through? And if we can't pinpoint what we're thinking about, one of the things I always ask is, show me, teach me, tell me what you'd like me to do. Thank your angels and spirit guides for getting your attention. Say, I'm super, super grateful to have you guys on my team. I know you're working diligently for me, and I want to do my part. Show me, teach me, tell me what it is you want me to see, what it is you want me to say, how it is you want me to be, so that I make good on this lifetime. I can't thank you enough for making a spiritual pact with me to make sure that as a team we help live out my purpose on this planet, right? And so you want to make sure that this is what you're doing on a regular basis when you see these numbers, right? These are all about important life decisions. These are all about how you choose your career path. This is all about understanding what relationships we should get into or be a part of. You want to keep a journal, you want to track it all as these things appear in your life, what's going on. You want to pay attention to numbers that keep showing up. So if you keep seeing 11111, or if you keep seeing 22222, or if you keep seeing 33, 44, 99, if you keep seeing these numbers, you want to make sure that you're keeping up with what this message, because that's a reoccurring message and a reoccurring theme. Now, I will say, since 11111 is all about manifestation, and 88888 is about manifestation and abundance, you definitely, when you see these numbers, multiple eights or multiple ones, you want to stop and say, or speak your goals if you have written them down. And this is why it's always important to write your goals, write your intentions, write them every month, write them every week if you have to, but know them, say them, repeat them, and then ask for guidance and clarity on them. And I guarantee you'll see more numbers, signs, and wonders show up in your life. And so you want to make sure that you say them as quickly as you possibly can before the number goes away or before the number's nowhere near you anymore. If it's on a license plate or on a billboard or something in front of you, you get to be able to say your prayers out loud and say, I thank you for the guidance. I thank you that this abundance is already coming in this amount. And if you can be very specific, speak the dollar amount. Speak the specific job or the specific opportunity. Speak to it. Pray about it at that very second when you see multiple ones or when you see multiple eights. Don't skimp on that. And then if your thought process is doubting, you definitely want to shift, because that's the universe saying, we're getting ready to bring you your order, clear the table. We're getting ready to bring you what you need. And so keep that in mind when you're thinking about this and when you're putting this into practical application. And then the last thing you want to do is understand that numerology is a tool. It is for self-discovery and it is for personal growth. You're going to find when you look up angel number meanings that they have all kinds of different meanings. They have all kinds of different sayings. When you look specific things up, and I will say to you, you are going to find the meaning and the definition that resonates with your energy at that time. So if you were to Google 1111, you're going to get a massive number of search results of different entities and companies and people and blogs that have put out meanings of these numbers. But the only thing I share with you is at the core of these numbers, what they mean. Okay. And so we can talk about numbers as it relates to your home, because I live in a 7 home. I'm having a 7 year. These are not coincidences. I've lived in a 7 home for the past 3 years, right? And this was a 7 year for me. So, these are things that are what woke me up. 7 homes are very, very spiritual homes, but they're also the homes that make the most sense for people who are influencers, people who are influencing people spiritually. So I landed in the right place, right? And it's just by happenstance that I was driving by this home and I saw that it was available. Never been on this side of town. And so was led over here, leaving another home that I was viewing. And I was like, I'm just not sure if I want that home. Let me just head back home and let me just drive the neighborhood and see what else is here. And it landed me in this place with fine dining and a trail outside that's 26 miles long and amazing neighbors. The energy healer lives right across from me. And so it landed me in a place, and I don't remember if I saw numbers that day, but I do know that I ended up in a 7 home, and the real estate agent met me on the spot and was like, stay over there at the property. I'm coming over there. And I was just calling her to see if she could meet me at some other point. And she was like, well, go back to the house. I'm on my way. I was like, okay, well, it makes sense, because I didn't live close to it. So she was like, you don't want to have to drive all the way back. And so I stayed. I parked at the property. She showed it to me. And she was just like, I could give this to anybody, but I haven't felt the energy of these people that I've toured this house with. I don't think they're a good fit. And she asked me to just settle yourself into this home. How do you feel standing here, being here? Is your energy okay here? And I had never in my life had a real estate agent ask me anything close to that. Most of them are just trying to make their sale, and I get it, but you make better sales when you can truly connect the buyer to their actual home. And so I told her I felt good here. I feel like I could thrive here. It's perfect for my son and where he goes to school. All of these different things just made sense for me. And the fact that it was less than a year old made so much more sense for me. And it felt like a new home. And, long story short, ended up getting the home, ended up staying here and just absolutely freaking love where I live, love the people I'm around, love this neighborhood, and just have been able to truly set my life up and thrive and grow. And so now I'm seeing numbers everywhere that this is the right path, that this is what I'm supposed to do. And the only thing that I need to do in the security of this is to truly just have fun, really be blissful. Every single time I do a video, and I probably do about 5 to 10 videos a day, believe it or not, I have a ton of content. But I will say that I freaking love it. I stopped getting jacked up on how many people are going to watch it. It doesn't even matter, because I'm having so much fun making these videos and just giving this content from my brain, from my knowledge. I mean, I have notes that I take, but for the most part, this comes from my being. It comes from my core, and it just feels right, you know. And this is the first social media platform I've been on where I feel like this is where I belong, you know, and this is where I can share my gift with the world and be okay with it, and be okay with how they digest this content, where they can see it over and over and over again till they get the messages that they need. And so numbers have been everywhere. And I just pray, I just affirm, I speak my goals every single time I see them. And I'm so, 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 so grateful. And I just saw two, too. So, 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 so grateful that that's the case. Right. And so, that being said, it's been an absolute, absolute, absolute pleasure sharing time and space with you. I hope you got something out of this video. If you've watched this long, man, I hope you're going to take the opportunity to subscribe just like this.
Be sure to hit the subscribe button and make sure that you're staying abreast of everything on our channel, and be sure to turn on your notifications so that you know when we post new videos.
I never take the role of teacher lightly. It has been an absolute pleasure sharing time and space with you. Be sure to check the comments below. Get on our email list so you can get even more conscious community content. And if you're already on our email list, make sure you check the description, check out our retreats and some of the other beautiful things that we offer to bring the community together. I love you. I'm praying for you. I'm holding space for you. Love and light, beautiful.